Welcome to Easy Project's Zapier integration tutorial video. Zapier is a service that allows web applications to connect with each other via recipes called zaps. It allows Easy Project's users like you to connect with other web applications such as Evernote, Toggle, Salesforce, as well as many others. In this video, we're going to set up a Zap to connect Salesforce to Easy Projects, and we'll also see how you can use Zapier to make your work life more efficient. To create a new Zap, from the Zapier homepage, I click Make a Zap. When setting up a new Zap in Zapier, there are two basic elements involved. There is a trigger and an action. Triggers are what start a Zap, and actions are what is the result of the Zap. So the first thing we need to do is set up the trigger step. First step in setting up the trigger is choose your app. You can scroll down the list of popular apps, or you can type in the name of the app you're looking for. In this case, we're looking for Salesforce. Now we've chosen our app, it's going to ask us what in Salesforce would we like to add as a trigger event. We're going to choose a new account. So a new account being created in Salesforce is our trigger. As you can see, there are quite a few other options you can use as your trigger in Salesforce. Now that I've chosen the trigger action, it's going to ask me to choose what Salesforce account I'd like to add. I've chosen my Salesforce account here, or I can connect a brand new account if I wish. And I can press save and continue when I confirm that the account is working. And now I've fully set up my trigger event. And the final step required in setting up the trigger is doing a quick test. Zapier wants to make sure that it can pull a new account from Salesforce successfully. And now we can see the test has successfully passed. I can do another test if I wish, or if I'm happy enough I can continue. Now we need to create an action for that trigger. So for this we're going to use Easy Projects as the action app. So I'll select it from my list of apps here. When a new account is created in Salesforce, I want to create a new project in Easy Projects. It's going to ask me which of my Easy Projects account would I like to connect. I'm going to connect a new account. So if I put in my username, my password, and the first part of my Easy Projects URL address, and click Yes, Continue. By default, that becomes my new account. I can do a quick test to make sure it's working, and then save and continue. So next is going to ask us to fill out some fields. So this is where you map the Zap, and this will determine how the Salesforce new account will look when Zapier transfers it into Easy Projects. So if we take a quick look at my new account in Salesforce, so in my Salesforce account, I have a new account name called New Test Account. I'm the account owner, and I haven't really filled out any information in it, just the account name. So when we go back to Zapier, the first area it asks for is which item in the new account in Salesforce would we like to become the new name of the project in Easy Projects. So we're going to say that the new account name is going to be the project name. So when you ran the test in the previous trigger step, this is the data that it pulled over. So we can see the account name is New Test Account. I can choose that. And I need to choose a default status that this account is going to be when it becomes a project in Easy Projects. It shows me a list of all the current statuses in Easy Projects. I'm going to choose Open for now. I can also fill out some optional fields if I wish. So for this, I'll put in the start date of the project as being the new account created date, which is here. And I'll click Continue. It'll give me a brief summary about the data I've chosen and where it's going to go in Easy Projects. And I can run a quick test just to see if the data can transfer successfully from Salesforce via Zapier into Easy Projects. And we can see now that the test has been successful. So if the test was successful, when I go to Easy Projects, I should have a new project starting today with the name New Test Account. So in Easy Projects, I don't see anything in there right now. If I do a quick refresh, we can see New Test Account is here with today's date listed as the start date. Now that the test has run successfully, I'm going to give my Zap a quick name. I'll call it SF2EP and click Finish. My Zap is turned off. Once I enable the Zap, Zapier will run a check every 15 minutes to see if any new account has been created in that time frame, and then it'll automatically transfer that account data into Easy Projects. Each application might have a different time frame for when Zapier checks them. So Salesforce will have every 15 minutes. Other applications might be instantaneous transfer or 5 or 10 minutes. Another popular application that people use to connect to Easy Projects is Evernote. So I've already set up Evernote as a trigger step. Now I want every time a new note is created in Evernote to create a new activity under a specific project in Easy Projects. The setup for this is slightly different in that instead of just being asked for a name and a status, because it's an activity, I have to give it a bit more detail. So again, it's going to ask me what do I want to call the name of the activity. I'm going to call it the name of the new note. So it asks what project in Easy Projects do I want the activity to appear under. I'm going to choose one I created called Evernote Activities. I can even make it a subtask if I wanted to, if I had a parent task in the project. For now, it's going to ask me what activity type I'd like to create it as, a task, an issue, or a request. I'm going to say task for this example. And then what's the status of the task? I'm going to say open. And again, similar to previous, I can fill out the optional information if I want. So let's put in the start date as the created date. And we'll click continue. I can do a quick test as well to see if it comes across successfully. Okay, so we can see the test has been run successfully. Let's take a quick look in Easy Projects to see if the data is in there. So at the moment, here's my project called Evernote Activities. Currently, there's no subtasks or activities underneath it. I'm going to do a quick refresh, and we can expand Evernote Activities. And there's the activity that I came across through Zapier with the start date of today. The final type of action you can use with Easy Projects in Zapier is adding a time log. So for this example, I'm using the time entry application called Toggle to create a new time entry, and I'm going to transfer that time entry via Zapier into an Easy Projects activity. If we go into Toggle very quickly, we have a time entry here where we did some work on review document that lasted for 4 hours. We now want to transfer this time log into Easy Projects. Going back into Zapier, and now in Easy Projects, as the action step, I need to provide some more information. So I have the user selected. It's going to ask me what project would I like the time log to go into. I'm going to change it to my Evernote activities. And then for this specific Zap, which activity would I like to create this Zap against? I'm going to choose my test note. It'll ask me for some extra fields such as the duration. We'll use the duration as hours. And for the description, we will use the description field here. We'll leave the date as today and continue. That test was successful, so if we go back into Easy Projects, if I do a quick refresh, we can now see that 4 hours have been recorded against this activity and $80 total internal cost. And that's just some small examples of how you can connect Easy Projects to some third-party apps using Zapier. If you need any help with setting up Zapier or you have any questions about how it works or any apps that you can connect to it, please send a quick email to success@easyprojects.net. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.